All right, we are live. And something very interesting now that is happening is it is bokeh. Bokeh by interaction is actually amazing. So we had Claudebot. Claudebot was doing something really cool. Claudebot basically also Claudebot had to change the name. Claudebot had to change the name to Moldbot now. Very weird name. I think Claudebot was a good name. They struck something really magical over there, let's say, with the name, with the timing, with how it came out, with being open source. Again, I think that Claudebot kind of also was riding on the same wave of Claude Code, because it seemed like, okay, first 15 days of January was all about Claude Code. That was the excitement of Claude Code, or at least the first 15 days, because suddenly after 5th Jan, when everybody was back in the game, they were playing with Claude Code, and either a breakthrough happened or just a realization happened, or just to realize it's a mix of both. Yeah, definitely Opus 4.5 came out way long back, but the time that people had to play with it was something that came during the holidays. So it was very interesting that people finally had the time to play with it. They realized that how powerful it is and how much the work it is doing, and it grew like wildfire. And then Claudebot basically was riding on the same wave. I think the naming did play an important role. The timing did play a very important role, that, okay, you had Claude Code, everybody's talking about Claude Code every single day, and suddenly Claudebot sounds very similar to Claude Code and is just way better, and everybody wants to try it, and much easier way to enter the mainstream information, or mainstream it was really cool. It was really cool how this all happened. And then the tech guys, they started setting it all up. They were like, okay, let us give it access to everything, root access to everything. And it seemed very interesting, where Pete Steinberger, who is the founder who basically built Claudebot, he was talking about these instances where he would ask something, he would ask to do it something in a way which hadn't been done before, and Claudebot was so smart that it would actually figure out how to do it itself. It would figure out the infrastructure to process that prompt. Because I don't know what exactly he said, but maybe he might have sent a voice message to Claudebot, and Claudebot didn't have the ability to process that prompt, but then it automatically picked up the OpenAI's API key, which was lying somewhere. It used that to connect to Whisper, and used Whisper to process that audio, transcribed it to text, understood it, and now it was able to do it. So it's like, if you're operating in this world, of building these loops, if you're operating in this world of building these loops, it is becoming incredibly easier. You are actually truly seeing the magic, because you are a human, you come up with ideas, then you have access to a computer. That computer is where your ideas are manifested in terms of code and media, but specifically code, because code is something which goes out and runs on itself. And this entire loop of you coming up with an idea, you kickstarting a machine that is running now, and you constantly coming back and feeding that machine with better and better ideas, and that machine automatically also searches for ideas to improve itself. This is exactly what we are looking for in terms of AI that goes and self-improves, entering into that cycle. And this is something that even yesterday, when we were looking into Dario's essay, he was talking about that, yeah, at Anthropic, we have pretty much found that loop now. And this is going to be very exciting times. But again, this all comes with security vulnerabilities. You don't want to add your Claudebot to a group chat where other people can ask it about things, about details in your computer, and go into your system, surface all the details, and spit out to other people. So that's not something that you want to do. But let me check. What are some security vulnerabilities of Claudebot? No, it's Claudebot. But now they have changed the name to Moldbot, so we will have that. I think this was also very interesting. Anthropic had to go and ask Claudebot to change the name, because two things are going to happen. Number one, if you don't enforce your trademark copyright, then you lose the right to enforce it. So it works both ways. Like, if I think the example that someone gave is like Escalator. Escalator was actually a company. And if somebody else goes and names their company exactly the same as Escalator, pretty much in the same industry, and you don't go and enforce it, and if one person is able to also build a brand on top of it, then when actually something happens where you do want to enforce it, you cannot, because the court will be like, hey, you had set the precedent where you knew that someone who is also popular in the same industry, very similar product, people could be confused that who is the actual owner of this product. When you didn't do it first time, you lose the right to do it forever, because now you have let the market be confused. So that was very interesting. Also, I think I'm guessing the bigger one is, it's not about copyright and trademark. It's more about the fact that Claudebot has a lot of security vulnerabilities, and obviously a lot of people are mistaking Claudebot for Claude's bot or Anthropic Claude's bot. So what is truly happening over here is that Claudebot comes out with a lot of security vulnerabilities, and there are a lot of issues over here. And if you are non-technical, if you don't know, you don't want to give your system access to it, which means that if something bad happens that Claudebot does, if the name Claudebot is associated with something bad, that also affects Anthropic Claude. So Anthropic Claude did ride on that wave. They were also benefiting from that same. They were also benefiting from this. Obviously, OpenAI, Grok, XAI, they are all going crazy that why aren't we able to tap into this magical Claude Code moment? They're going crazy, obviously. Like, what is happening? Why haven't we tapped into something like this? Why is there still, like, Elon has been, I think I've heard like Elon say it twice now, where he said that Anthropic has done something magical with Claude Code. So what is truly happening? Why aren't these guys able to catch up? Why aren't other frontier labs able to catch up to the power of Claude Code? Not power, I think we should have said something else, but okay, what do we have over here? Security vulnerabilities. Refreshingly transparent risk. Running any agent with shell access is inherently spicy. Remote exposure should be treated like a remote admin API. Bad actor skill could archive your work folder and upload it elsewhere with a single text message. Hallucination. This is also interesting. Gaslight your AI. You can guilt trip your AI. I think Poke has done something incredible over here. Let's actually check out what is the update by Poke. Interaction. Poke has really helped. Poke has also really helped us figure out, wow, the way it's shooting emails, that is incredible. This is incredible. Like, through my phone, through iMessage, the interface that I absolutely love, which is the most basic interface, most, what do we call it? Like, most fundamental level interface, most simplest, most fundamental level interface is iMessage. And in iMessage, if I can interact with Poke, and Poke is then really good at just giving you everything. I just wish I could open more chat sessions with it and open multiple conversations with Poke. I think that would be really cool. But anyways, I think right now something that's incredible is the fact that I can ask it that, hey, find me these people, find me institutions that would be down to give me a grant. Then once it finds, like, obviously because it's on iMessage, it's not going super deep. I think that's also a really good thing about phones, that because you are on this interface, the apps automatically understand that they don't want to fill too much things. They want to keep it very simple to the point, which is not only easier for you to consume, but also because it's built in that way, when you send that message to someone else, even it is easier for them to consume over phone. So that is a really good thing, because now people know that, hey, a lot of things are being generated by AI, so they want to be careful. They want to be careful, or they are naturally careful that, hey, this is AI generated. I don't take this seriously. But anyways, right now, this is something cool that you are able to ask it that, hey, find me institutions, find me individuals who give out grants for this specific use case. Then you move to the fact that, okay, draft an email for all of them. Okay, it drafts all these emails. All these emails are short. They are sent via iMessage, and then you just simply go, okay, send them, and it just sends them. It's amazing. It found their email, it found their information, it drafted all these emails that are a little bit catered towards the individual, that the individual, the institution that it's drafting for. It has understanding of your story, so everything is happening, which is crazy. And all you are doing is you are just giving it green light. You're just giving it green lights. That's it. And you can go in and refine a couple of things that, okay, in all these emails, just add a link to my YouTube video. Now it knows that how do you like things to be done, and then it will keep sending. I think it's amazing. This is bringing a lot of things together, and just the fact that you are able to control everything from your phone, that is again incredible. But one thing that we read over here is hallucination with AI and gaslighting AI specifically. I think that is really important, because what Poke is truly doing is, when you actually enter Poke, there is a bouncer. You're trying to convince the bouncer that you want to use the tool. And not only that you want to use the tool, you're also convincing it that, hey, reduce my price for this tool. So this is somewhere which gets very interesting. That, and I love the flexible pricing, because it's like, okay, if you're truly really smart, if you're really good at how AI works and stuff, you will try to play with it. If you're street smart and stuff, you will try to bring down the price. If you don't care about the price, you are going to find a lot of value. You just sign up for it, and the company actually wins, because they are able to capture an audience that is. And based on understanding your email and understanding your calendar, you can kind of make out that, okay, this person has money. So, and they will make better use of this AI. It's like getting a percentage of the value that you are going to derive from AI. So if you are a student, if you don't have many use cases, okay, I'll charge you low. But if you're an investment banker, if you're a VC and you're going to derive a lot of value, hey, $200 per month, you don't really care about it. And we also win, because we can actually truly capture value, and we can subsidize the people who are paying less. So I think that flexible pricing is actually beautiful. And that flexible pricing, again, plays on at different levels, because pretty much everybody is paying a different price to this company, which is really cool. I think Poke has found something incredibly cool to do. But I'm actually really surprised. What would their process look like? How would their investors look at their recurring revenue? Because they don't truly have a recurring revenue. It's very much like, oh, some people are paying them $300, some people are paying them $100, some people are paying them $50. There are too many people who are paying them $79, and there are these few people who are just using the service. They're really smart, they're using a lot, and they're paying $0. So I think this is also very interesting. The way this company is able to derive flexible pricing. And I think figuring out the annual recurring revenue for a company like this would be very interesting. That, okay, you are making money, you're making good money, you're making money from subscriptions, but you have users paying you all these different levels of subscription. So that is crazy. Let's see. Been using Pokemon Interaction since the first week it released. Haven't realized until now how heavily I rely on it daily. I don't have a single AI app on my phone. Hold for message Poke. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. There's an action button. Okay, I want to set this right now. Action button. Where does the action button go to? Raccourci. Choisir raccourci. And nouvelle note, utiliser le modèle. Okay, I love this. You can use the iPhone button for how do I do that? Écoutez récemment, l'ouvrir une app and commencer. Okay, this is incredible. This is incredible. I think this is what you want to do. You want an action button to quickly start talking or quickly start sending a message. So let's do that. I will set up a shortcut right away. So Siri shortcut is amazing at this. Start a shortcut, Shazam shortcut. What's a shortcut block for an R? Okay. Dictaphone. Okay, this is amazing. This is amazing. Envoyer message Poke. Oh, I love this. Whoever this guy is, amazing work. This is something beautiful because this is exactly what you always look for. You look for, hey, how can I make things better? How can I, wow. And it's right here. Wow, amazing. Action button finally does something. I think I would use action button more and more I would love to use action button more and more for ChatGPT, but the problem is that ChatGPT voice mode doesn't always work doesn't always work when you are what's the right word? Doesn't always work when you are on Wi-Fi, so that's a problem. Okay, so now we have more grand stuff that it's asking me. Wow, this is amazing. Maintenir. Message Poke. This is amazing. Whoever did this, amazing work. So what all options do we have? We have options on mode silence. We have concentration. We have appareil photo, intelligence visuelle, lampe de poche, mémo vocal, reconnaître la musique, traduit. This is amazing. Message Poke. Message Poke is amazing. What else do we have? Browse to the interaction team. It just works. Parker, photographer, engineer. Action button poke goes hard. GPT provided the plan, but interaction helps me stay on track. Yeah, I'm really curious how people are using Poke, because this is amazing. Hey Poke, can you set up an automation for my diet plan and exercise routine? Daily reminds for workouts and meal, track your progress, add workout schedule to your calendar. So meal prep reminders, let me know, all of it, got it. Workout calendar, low impact strength training, walk light jog sessions, mobility core workouts, daily workout alert, breakfast reminder, morning snack, lunch reminder, afternoon snack, dinner reminder, sleep consistency reminder, weekly planning, week overview, meal prep reminder, weekly progress check. There's another reason interaction might lose as a company from getting banned by messaging platforms to getting sued for price discrimination. Getting sued for price discrimination is very interesting. That could be. That is interesting because, like, you have the option. How smart are you to bring the price down? Third, AI with all context in one place, simple and just like you talk to other humans, constantly running inference on live contexts like email, calendar, proactively offering you help from checking you into flights to updating calendar invites, linear issues, Notion doc, responding to emails via your existing familiar interface with high degree of spatial awareness. Which platform did the message come from? What time, location? Talking like your human friends instead of sycophantic version or C3PO. Knowing you frighteningly well. What are you working on with which deadlines? And what are jobs and studies you have previously pursued? How you slept every morning? The problem is, the only problem is single thread conversations are good, but now I have to respond to this thing. Okay, can you, let's do this. Can you connect to my Whoop data? Okay. Send email. This is for Ontario Trillium Foundation draft. Last one, echoing group. Very interesting. I think there's the only problem with single thread conversation is the fact that you don't know what is, or you would want to start a new session without. Yeah, I think you do want to start a new session. What happens? But iMessage doesn't have an option to start a new message. Yeah, I don't think that works. Okay, is really cool. What do you tweet and post on socials? Does it have access to my ex? Let's see. Claudebot had to be renamed, even though Claude benefited from the hype of Claude. Anthropic cannot risk being mistook for the product with massive security vulnerabilities. Much better. Should I send this now? Send it. This is amazing. Being able to control your emails just from your chat is amazing. No copy pasta, no copy paste, no worrying about MS sending to the right email. It is doing all the work for me. And I'll push the system. Until it makes a mistake and until someone tells me that, oh, the system doesn't work. If the system is working, the system is working. All the promising grand responses, Story Hive. Okay, now can you look into my Whoop data? Let's see. Let me check for your Whoop data in your emails. How you slept every morning, what music you listen to via Spotify. I don't have a direct integration with Whoop at the moment. There are a couple of ways we could access your Whoop data. You could share screenshots from your Whoop app. You could log into your Whoop account on the web and export data. If you have weekly emails from Whoop, I might be able to find those. I found all your Whoop data from December. Here's what I see. Okay. A Whoop aging rate. 29 total recoveries in December. Best recovery score 99. Mostly good recoveries. Fitness stuff. View to max 45. Resting heart rate 48. 425,000 steps in December. 6 days with high strain. Main activity walking. Sleep average 7 hours 40 minutes. Sleep at 29-minute average. Sleep consistency 67%. Hit sleep goal 10 nights in December. You've got an annual review waiting. If you want, yes please, give me extract insights from the annual review. Okay, so I'll just look into everything that Marvin is saying over here. I don't have direct integration with Whoop. I'll log in here. A few ways you can get this info. You take screenshots of your annual review and send that to me. You can export the data from and share it. If you're comfortable, you could share your login details and I could have an agent access the data, though this isn't ideal from a security perspective. Okay. Can you look into my music via Spotify? Let's see. Why new existing familiar interface with high degree of spatial awareness? What you tweet, post on socials, which newsletters you read, creators, topics you follow. Which creators, topics you follow. So that is also something very... Spotify listening habits. Let me check your emails for Spotify data. Also, extract insights from my Twitter. Okay, this is good. Poke is really good. You can just always let it do the work. I think Claudebot is very interesting. Claudebot is very interesting, but we need to be, No rapid or detailed listening stats though. Let me check your Twitter profile now. Okay. No one normally wants to go into an app where they start from blank conversation every time for everyday request. No one wants a 3-page M-Dashbill report about the history of the US dollar when asking for a conversion rate. And recs for restaurant purchases. Thing to do will be so much better from someone who knows what else you like from email receipts and travel itineraries. I don't know yet if it will be the ones winning this market or if Apple Google at some point ban us and copy our UX, but I'm betting everything on this becoming the biggest consumer product of our time.
Excited to live in a world where capital gets furiously allocated to the most talented and hardworking members of society. Might read the sarcasm given the $1.5 billion pre-seed for a team with high schooler and goofy branding. Flappy airplanes. But I mean it makes Silicon Valley more like Silicon Valley again. Bring the joie de vivre in the valley. Announcing flapping airplanes. We raised 180 million from GV Sequoia Index to assemble a new guard in AI, one that imagines a world where models can think at human level without ingesting half the internet. Intéressant. We have raised 180 million from GV Sequoia Index to assemble a new guard in AI. It's very interesting. Poke is very interesting. We'll keep working with Poke. So right now, also one thing I keep thinking about is that you have your context spread out amongst a lot of things. You have ChatGPT with Pulse, you have Anthropic, Claude with all the building stuff, you have Grok, XAI. I think it definitely works a lot. Grok is definitely way better with conversations. Grok works way better when I am outside on a walk and I just want to talk and practice my French. I think for French, Grok has become just really good. They very recently they added French to their they recently added French as a language, so it has been incredible. The proof that this is possible is all around us, whereas current systems are trained on essentially all of accessible history. Humans exceed AI capabilities despite seeing at most a few billion text tokens by adulthood. We estimate that humans are 100,000 to 1 million more sample efficient than existing models. To achieve such large gains, we need big ideas. Exploring some weird new ideas, from rethinking our loss functions to even gradient descent itself. Our singular focus is doing good paradigm shifting research. Although we are not currently trying to commercialize, we think our work will ultimately unlock enormous value in enterprise settings, robotics, trading, scientific discovery, and much more. The name Flapping Airplanes embodies our culture. Who we are and what we do is out of distribution. Blends world-class researchers with rising stars who are the best at what they do. For investors, GB Sequoia Index, XTX Markets Menlo, Victor, Entrepreneur Investor, Lux Conviction, Fundomo, and Jump Trading. Interesting. Karpathy, Jeff Dean, and more. We employed 2 US debate champions. Finally, a company name that actually makes sense. Strong agree. Retweet. She flap on my airplane till I laboratory. Best of luck. Ben, Asher, Ian, Godspeed. I was off for Rock 4 months early on this. This is the new way everyone's talking about.
raise 100 million in 2 minutes on users.
This is really cool. This is really cool. Today, Listen crossed $100 million in funding. Co-founder Listen Labs. AI finds and talks to your users, so you don't have to guess. See how sweet green Microsoft Replit use it. Wow, this is really cool, Alfred. It's actually really cool. I'll drop a message. Less but better. Neater RAMs. Yes. Let's go. Embed was a meaningful trajectory boost for Listen. Conviction. Embed 6. Figma, Databricks, Retools, Stripe, Notion, Replit, Shopify, Ramp, OpenAI, Google DeepMind. Meaningful trajectory boost for Listen. Shedding point for the best early stage founders, cash, compute, community, and a catalyst. Past participants with dropout leading researchers, repeat founders, alumni have raised more than $1 billion. Links below. Apply, apply, apply. Highly recommend. How many wild ideas there are out there, and then some of them are just weird enough to work. Personality hire at Conviction, formerly Personality hire at Neva. Search powered by roommate and one day a friend. Number 41 on the Menace list. Interesting. TwitterDB is a massive left for real-time data. Mystery model Ravi number 1. Modern prediction arena is an early Grok 4.2 checkpoint by XAI. 10% plus on prediction arena last 2 weeks. For context, the average return across all contracts on Kalshi is 22%. Opus with negative 22. Opus is negative 2. GLM by Zai is negative 2. I'm also curious about, so we've been wanting to figure out their menu. Here's how we recruit health conscious users from 30 million people ready to talk. Our AI interviews thousands. Inside, customers can hit protein goals without sacrificing flavor. Customers can hit protein goals without sacrificing flavor.
Really deeply understanding our customers is critical to winning, and Listen Labs has been able to uncover some amazing insights for us that allows us to further our mission of connecting people to real food. As a customer-obsessed brand,
this is really cool. Yeah, this is really cool. Like, people will actually give you exactly the way how they think about it. Like, if this AI can go out and interview people, you can really understand how they talk, and you can record all of that. And yeah, just be like, hey, don't say anything personal. This conversation is going to be recorded. It's just a 10-minute survey. And yeah, can we go deeper and deeper into it? And you can train this AI on being the best product leader ever and being like, yeah, like you are the best product leader. Use all the principles, go deeper and deeper to find an insight. We are extremely customer obsessed. And that is really good. That is really good. Here's how we help. Customers can hit protein goals without sacrificing flavor. Max protein bowl. Wow. This is an amazing product and idea. Thanks. Thank you, G. Ursula has been an amazing partner for us. Listen Labs raise 69.5 Series B. Rumor is Ribbit led. This is unreported but findable on Harmonic AI. Sequoia Capital. People always ask, Arthur, how do you have such a good deal flow? I just use Harmonic. The startup discovery platform, we are hiring across all roles. Interesting. The startup discovery platform. Let's see what Poke has for us. Ooh, Poke has a lot of stuff. Okay. Let me research who would be most interested in funding your AI education live streams. A16Z, the speedrun accelerator is perfect for AI education focus. 776. Dedicated queer economy focus. Night Ventures runs Mr. Beast. Queer Juice up to 250k for YouTubers. AI education focus. Reach Capital. Invest in learning, health, work, and AI for human potential. Owl Ventures. Largest edtech VC globally. Heavy focus on AI powered learning. GSV. Every company is an AI education company thesis. Perfect match for your style. Untapped Capital. Famous for building in public with Baby. AGI. Raven. Indigenous Capital. Vancouver-based Indigenous-led VC. Perfect for your Indigenous youth workshops. Current approach. Start with UI. Best alignment with your building in public style. Apply to Creator Juice Fund. Most successful for creators. Contact Raven. Twitter draft outreach. Also check your Twitter profile. Okay. Join May 2019. Main issue 5-month gap since last post. Huh? 5-month gap? Web3 Crypto Insights. Startup investing takes. Vancouver tech scene. Product management advice. What's working? Your pin tweet about leaving big tech got 1.3 likes. Video content gets 3x more engagement. Personal story posts perform really well. Curve improvement. Start posting again. ASAP. Update your pin tweet to current focus. Post more video content. Create consistent content pillars. AI tools, indigenous education, creator economy. Solid foundation but needs immediate reactivation to real momentum. Keep them to the point. Congrats on the recent fundraise. Casually, early again. We're thrilled to be featured on Harmonic, Hot 25 Startups list. Very interesting. What is Harmonic? Arthur and his network of spies. The startup discovery engine. Trusted by the best. Lightspeed Khosla. Menlo, Bessemer, Kleiner Brookins, first round, Iconic, D-Shaw, Code 2, Forerunner, First Mark, Battery, Palo Alto, HubSpot, Goldman, Brex, Notion, Kindred. The agent made for investors. Describe an industrial product to find companies. Supercharge intelligence from across the web, your networks, and your CRM. Market positioning, market maps, and talent flows in one click. Talent sources, UC Berkeley. Alumni focused startups. deep research. Send Scout to run your research. Sourcing superpower, discover hidden gems. Stealth pre-seed companies with relevance more than 90%, where web traffic over past 3 months increased 200%, with founders who have a prior exit, deep technical background. Lantern, the most powerful database for building AI applications, identify new promising companies. Effortlessly find the needle in the haystack. Uncover fast-growing companies, headcount, total funding. Don't miss deals, get the most from your network. Calendar, Gmail, LinkedIn, Outlook, Airtable, Ramp, Kareem, Eric. Okay, monitor network movements, track communications, make every intro warm. Real-time alerts, monitor talent and companies. Data everywhere you need it. Generate instant insights. Developer-centric, integrate your way. This is really cool. Visionary investors run on Harmonic. Top 3 VC firm. If you lost Harmonic, it would be a 9 out of 10 bad day. The Harmonic platform has decisively enhanced my productivity. Floodgate into data-driven firm. Automated tools have become fundamental to our sourcing and networking efforts. Early stage companies from a variety of data sources well before other providers do. Meet the companies leveling up with Harmonic, Sorensen. Market data into hiring power. Relationship driven sourcing engine. Builds a smarter Series A funnel at global scale. Very interesting. Hot 25 startups. Okay, let's see. Q1 2026. They have already decided who is hot. Okay, so here are top 3. Headcount 110. Interesting. October 25, 47 Series A. Claim worker perplexity to automate IT help desk functions and streamlines workflow processes. $70 million Series B led by Sequoia 1 day after the list went live. Congrats. Wow. 5 million Series B. Wow. Servil. PKI. Resolve AI. Very interesting. 7 AI cybersecurity platform. Traversal dual entry. Paid AI. Revenue management for agents, AI native ERP, site reliability agents. I think this is very interesting. Like all the work that is very difficult and very back-end stuff that is happening now. Parallel web systems, a web API for AIs. Sola, Crosby, Julius. Very cool. Dust. Salient. Cogent Security. Thinking Machine Labs. Emergent, AI for making apps. Periodic Labs. Jordy AI. Interior, Davily, Emerald, Gradient, Juicebox. Recruiting. Financial services, power consumption management for data centers. Wow. The operating system for AI and power. AI's explosive growth is colliding with grid limits with grid limits delaying infrastructure by years and raising energy costs for everyone. Intelligent flexibility, avoiding blackouts, and always assuring AI performance, major updates, demonstrating Oracle, the infrastructure behind the infrastructure. Completely reimagining our data centers as helpful resources to help us operate the power grid more effectively and reliably. Proven in the field. Varun Shivaram, C-suite energy executive, senior US diplomat, Rhodes Scholar, physicist, and author of 3 books on the world's foremost authorities on energy technologies. Wow. Hyperscale cloud hardware leadership from Amazon to Intel. Field of flexible AI and high performance computing to bolster the new grid. Arun Vijayakar. Publicly traded Sunrun and PE investor at Partners Group to lead commercial strategy and partnerships. Steven So. Expert in grid optimization, demand response system with over a decade of specialized expertise. Daniel Wilson, groundbreaking research in software-powered pathfinding. Stanford Master's graduate in computer science. Developed software for robotics startup and the US Marine Corps, as well as help implement the CHIPS and Science Act at the White House. Wow, okay. Stanford Master's graduate in computer science. Ethan has developed software for a robotics startup and the US Marine Corps, as well as helped implement the CHIPS and Science Act at the White House. Jeff Dean, individual investors. Malcolm Turnbull, 29th Prime Minister of Australia. John Doerr, Fifi Lee, Chief Sustainability Officer at Google. Rich Lesser, that's a very interesting name. Rich Lesser. Mark Gallogly, 3 Keynes Group, Galvanize, Tom Sear, Chase Lockmiller, Crusoe. Yes, Crusoe is the big company right now. Databricks, Jonathan Frankel, Oliver Cameroon, Kiran, Arcadia Power, Energy Institute, Arushi Sharma Frank, Tesla Energy Policy Lead CEO, Luminary Strategies, David Russell, Salt Liver Project, Secretary Gina Raimondo, Duke University, Sean Kelly, Anna Patterson, Gaurav Desai, Google X, Isaac Brown, Managing Partner, 38 North. NVIDIA N Ventures, NVIDIA N Ventures, what is that? Founding investor. Lower carbon, yes. Clay Dumas. Okay, this is very cool. Hot startups of 7AI. Let's look into 7AI agentic cybersecurity system. For those who dare to reimagine. For those who dare to reimagine, proven in production. Open critical escalator, Microsoft Centennial. Offload non-human work with a complete security operations stack. People that AI when humans lead, tech follows. Balancing innovation and risk. Empowers enterprises to shift security tasks to AI agents. Shift security tasks to AI agent for those who dare to reimagine. Podcast, yes, you gotta have a podcast. 7AI platform. Ingestion, categorization, enrichment, triage, determination. Proven in production, purpose built. Cases, purpose built agents for every security task. Explain me what this company does in a very simple language. Whoa, we have some new stuff. Suggest endpoints. Which endpoints are best to start with? Suggest summarize usage. Recommend tutorials. Okay. Yes, I think ChatGPT did talk, or OpenAI Atlas, they did talk about like just getting better at the suggestions. Yeah, workers that do cybersecurity work for companies automatically. More concretely, big companies get thousands of security alerts every day. Can't check all of them. It's slow, boring, expensive. Most alerts are false alarms, so finding the real threats takes hours. Look at a security alert, pull information from many tools. Figure out is this actually dangerous or not. Let's see what Poke has got for us. Building in public alignment. Very cool. I think this is also important. This is also truly important, like creating that cycle between thoughts and action, and interacting with the physical outer world. I think that is truly important. And because the world is constantly changing, it's good that instead of relying on a Notion doc, you are relying on AI. I think that is really important. That is really important. This is actually dangerous or not, by a clear explanation of what happened. Traditional tools bring alarms. 7AI investigates the alarm and decides what to do. So this was really cool. Let's see Servil, the #1 guy. At $1 billion valuation, AI agents for IT. Trusted by world's most innovative companies, Perplexity. Once we switched over to Servil, we were able to complete over 50% of our incoming requests automatically. Together, Workara, Langchain, Build, Huntress, Fighter. Get to know Servil. Workflow Code. Transform ticketing, resolve request. Even grant access to Salesforce for one hour. Let me know if there's anything else you need. Build workflows. Reset MFA factor in Okta. Transform ticketing. Manage access. Manage assets. Very cool. Sam's MacBook Pro. Really interesting. Okay. Automate help desk requests, just-in-time access, onboarding and offboarding with AI-powered workflows are built for themselves. For IT, okay. Onboarding, offboarding is really cool. Okay, workflow code. It's designed like Google Gemini, which is very interesting. Okay, offboard employee. Offboard employee is pretty cool. Yes, when you're in IT, you have to do a lot of things. You have to kind of automate this entire process. And people who use Rippling, they know how boring that is, but automation is effortless. IT teams thrive. Workata, Merker, how it works. AI native ITSM help, desk automation, agent insights, agent resolve requests, automate your help desk provision access, answer questions, handle the full range of employee requests via Slack team, email, or web portal. Do you have a guest Wi-Fi? What's the password? Create private chat channel with manager approval. Delegate Zoom scheduling privileges. Create private to Notion team space. Build workflows. Deactivate user in Okta. Lock their GemF devices. Log them out of all Google Workspace sessions. Revoke all third-party apps in their Workspace account. Remove them from all Google groups. Wipe coding for IT automation. Transform ticketing, a complete AI native tracking system your team will love. Not looking to migrate. Servil. Servil supports a full two-way sync with all third-party ticketing solutions. This is really cool. This is really cool because yes, there are people in IT who have to do all this stuff. I think so. It's interesting what is happening on a civilizational level. What is happening on a civilizational level is we are freeing up people's time. You're freeing up people's time. Like a head of IT role would no longer be just doing IT. I think they will just become like head of people. I think this is the reason why we went from head of IT to head of people, because now you are no more just giving access and revoking access and offboarding employees and going through this entire step-by-step process. There were people who had this full-time job to be doing something like this, but now you will have people more about maintaining the relationship. I think head of people becomes more a person who thinks truly about the culture and how to help people, how to make people feel part of the team, how to make sure everybody has kind of things outside their work taken care of so that they can fully focus on their work. I think that is something that is really important. Yeah. Access governance, manage assets, build for enterprise, customization, compliance, scalability, secure by default. Very interesting. Careers, update, perplexity, compare. I feel like I wanna let's message. Conversation topic. Other. Hey, Servil team. I find that what you guys are doing is really incredible because you are truly freeing up. IT used to be a role. IT used to be a full-time role where someone is going and managing all the privileges and access and stuff like that. But I feel like because of the work that you guys are doing, now companies, even the role, like as on a civilization scale, we are removing the need for a person to be focused on these tiny management of all the different services to. I think you are one of the reasons why we are moving away from a title of head of IT or just like an IT technician to head of people, where this person can focus more and more on how to help the employees how to take care of everything so that employees can truly focus on their work. So yeah, I truly appreciate the product that you guys are building. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. Okay. So you're truly freeing up. ID used to be a full-time role where someone is going and managing all the privileges and access and stuff like that. Moving away from the title of head of IT, from a title of an IT technician to head of people, where this person can focus more and more on how to help employees. And there's also really interesting the balance between yeah, what every time you come up with an insight, what do you want to do with that insight? Do you want to somehow reach out to the team? What you guys are doing is really incredible because you are truly freeing up people to think bigger. IT used to be a full-time role where someone is going and managing all the privileges and access and stuff like that. But because of the work that you guys are doing, we are moving away from a title of an IT technician to head of people, where this person can focus more and more on how to help employees. Okay, so we sent a message. I'll quickly check the updates on LinkedIn. Okay, and now we can go back. Oh, actually, let's check out something quick. Okay. Parfait. What is NVIDIA and Venture Capital arm? Insight for religions alignment with their vision. have been instrumental together. Moon, Surgical, and Media, unlocking the immense potential for investing in what comes next. Flywheel, Biomedicines, Machina, Luma, Inceptive, Moon, Surgical, World Labs, yes, Unstructured. Servil was very interesting. Peak AI. Yeah, search analytics for marketing teams. AI search analytics for marketing to track, analyze, and improve brand performance on AI search platforms through key metrics: visibility, position, sentiment, PKI. Start free trial. Competitors. Visibility, sentiment, position, overview. AI search platforms. Interesting. Domains. Trusted by 1500 plus marketing teams, brands. Wait, why are we hearing on PK and not the other one, which actually was the big one that we looked into, I think. Agencies, Sear, Eskimos, Omniscient, Kineso, Brands, Bretling, Atio, Squarespace, Revo, Hugo Boss, Anytime, 11 Labs, Omeo, TUI, Growpix. Understand how AI sees your brand. How your brand is perceived by AI, what's going well, what requires improvements. Turn AI search insights into new customers with PKI. Use data to pick winners. Set up prompts, choose AI models, add brands, find key sources, act on insights. Metrics like brand mentions, impressions, and sentiment are hard to track, which is why PK is so powerful. It shows how LLMs are framing a brand. I think this is also very interesting. As more and more metrics, all these things are becoming easy, people want to use AI to truly understand people. I think instead of intercom, listen labs could be something like, hey, if someone chose to come to your website, they care about your website, they are thinking of something about your brand, and they could leave you with some interesting insight that, hey, how did you feel? How did you feel about this app? Tell me more. I think that is really cool. So if you can train an AI specifically that every time somebody goes on a website, they kind of pops up. It's like, hey, thank you for being here. I'm curious, what brings you here? That would be really cool. And that's like a survey, because every interaction point that you have is an opportunity to learn about the customer. Like for me, the problem right now that I have is I have subscribers, I have viewers, but I have no idea what they think. I have no idea what they think, how they think about it. Wow. If there was an opportunity to just have an AI have a listen labs kind of thing, which is called talk to me or talk to my AI agent. My AI agent wants to talk to you. And that way I could, before you subscribe, if you came across this, I would love to talk to you, something like that. And then that AI agent is just that, hey, what brings you to Prashant's YouTube? Or how did you find about Prashant? How do you know Prashant? That'd be really cool. How did you find about Prashant? Help me create this voice interface layer. So what I basically want is, every time someone finds me, every time there's a person who finds me on YouTube, let's say, Every time there's a person who finds me on YouTube, I want to link them to this website where straight up they are talking to my voice agent, and that voice agent is kind of surveying them. It is doing a survey, and it is trying to understand that number one question is, how did you find about Prashant? What brings you here? What did you think about Prashant's content? Stuff like that. So they can actually talk to it. And then this AI agent not only records that entire conversation, but then also sends me insights from that conversation. Okay, let's see if Claude got that. Building a voice survey agent, architecting conversational survey mechanism, capturing audience insights. This would be really cool. Metrics like brand mentions, impressions, and sentiment are hard to track, which is why PK is so powerful. It shows how LLMs are framing a brand. We have raised $29 million in capital from top-tier investors, and we are in the top 1% of startups in terms of growth. Wow, everybody in black. And everybody has that no shoes rule, only socks. $20 VC and singular. Wow. We have raised $29 million capital from top-tier investors, and we are in the top 1% of startups in terms of growth. AI search is replacing traditional search, and we are building the leading marketing engine for this platform shift. I'm surprised what happened to the other competitor. They must be growing too. Graphite Squarespace. PKI helps us identify what's being cited, adjust our strategy in real time, and stay ahead of a rapidly evolving search landscape. For a team, the clarity and simplicity of the platform is invaluable when making strategic content decisions. Essentially, an AI-powered audience research tool that feels more engaging than a typical survey form. Let me sketch out the architecture and then we can build it. Core components, voice layer. Browser native, free, works okay, but inconsistent across browsers. Dedicated voice infra. Better quality, cost money, more polished experience. Conversation AI. Cloud API driving the actual survey conversation with a personality that represents you. Transcripts, metadata. Summarize conversations and deliver to you. Email digest, dashboard, Slack. A few questions to nail down the approach. Voice quality versus simplicity. Do you want this to feel like talking to a real voice agent? More production value with services like WAPI? Or is browser native fine for an MVP? Where do you want to receive these? Daily email digest, a dashboard you can check, Slack notifications. Should this feel like a formal survey? Number one, browser native fine for now. Number two, email digest. Number three, more feel like a formal survey. How did you? More like a natural conversation. Natural conversation where agent guides people through questions organically. Number four, scale expectation. Handful of conversations per week. Are you expecting significant volume? Handful per week. I'm not sure if we should put a strict cap on the conversation, such that it ends after 10 minutes. Deliberating whether to impose strict conversation time limits. Might be good. This is very interesting. Understand how AI sees your brand. I think we saw this. Simplicity of the platform is invaluable when making strategic content decisions. I think this would be really cool. This would be really cool if we can build something like this. This is a good idea. I will put this into our notes app. Voice survey agent. Voice survey. Survey voice agent. Voice survey agent. Talks to people who find you online to better understand how they found you and what makes them interested in you. Talk to people who find you online to better understand how they found you and what makes them interested in you. Records the entire conversation. It also summarizes these are some of your top insights. Wow. Voice layer, 2 main approaches. Okay. Good instance on time cap. A hard cutoff feels jarring. Sorry, your 10 minutes are up. Goodbye, especially when someone might be mid-thought sharing something by. So this is a soft landing approach. The agent naturally steers for closure after gathering the core insights, but can extend if someone's really engaged. Think of it as a good interviewer who knows when they've got what they. I think this is amazing about AI, that you, instead of you giving them restrictions, you let it think and then it comes up with better insights. And yeah, that's amazing. I can extend if someone's really engaged. Let me build this out. Here's the stack. Front end, React with web speech API, backend Simple Express server, stores transcripts, database, SQLite for simplicity, upgrade to Superbase later if needed, email, recent, generous free tier, AI Claude for both conversation plus insight summarization, conversation flow, visitor lands on a page, sees warm welcome, clicks to start, agent reduces itself, natural conversation exploring how they found you, what drew them in, what they are hoping to learn, get any feedback. I think I should also just please message me, feel free to. Okay, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, where are we at now? PKI. So this was good, okay. Servil and resolve AI. Let's also look at resolve quickly. Resolve incidents, optimize cost and code with production context using AI that works across your code, infra, and telemetry. Coinbase, DoorDash, Game Time. Most likely root cause. Look at demo. Trusted by engineers building what's next. Coinbase. Resolve AI proved it could deliver real results in production, identify dependencies, surface accurate root causes, integrating cleanly into our existing stack. AI for prod. Knowledge, telemetry, code, infra, resolve AI in action, participates in every on-call rotation, gets you to root cause. Debug any production issue, execute remediation actions. Browser to 5x faster, MTTR, and 75% higher productivity. Machines on call for humans. Machines on call for humans. Very cool. Very cool. The branding is also so good. Are these all YC companies? We don't know yet. AI SRE for even the most complex incidents. Digital Ocean. Cloudways. Find the root cause fast. Fix with confidence. Create postmortems painlessly. Flexible deployment models. Whoa. Professor of Operations, Research and Computer Science at Columbia, PhD in Computer Science at MIT. Formerly, wow, what is happening? Scholar at Google. Wow, they have Google Scholar links. BCG, Amazon Core AI, Microsoft Research. Raz Dwivedi. Professor of Operations Research and Computer Science at Cornell Tech. Professor of Operations Research. Okay. Operations Research and Computer Science at Cornell Tech. PhD in Computer Science at the University of California, Berkeley, postdoc at Harvard and MIT. What? UC Berkeley, postdoc at Harvard and MIT. PhD in Computer Science. Professor of Operations Research and Computer Science. Microsoft Research World Quant. Residence Gold Medal at IIT Bombay and IIT JEE All India Rank 10. Okay, so Raz Dwivedi is IITN. Okay, cool. Really cool. Professor of Operation Research and Computer Science at Cornell Tech. Wow. How does it feel to just like collect all the gems? PhD Computer Science at MIT, formerly basis in Arbex. Bachelor's in Computer Science and Finance at University of Pennsylvania, former Citadel. Okay, Raz Dwivedi obviously has the biggest smile. Oh no. You can just look at the smile of everybody and see that. Okay, who is crushing it? Okay. BCG, Amazon Core AI, Microsoft Research. Oh my god, okay. Raz Dwivedi. But I would think that everybody's an IITian, but it seems like no. Anish Agarwal, CEO and co-founder. The Engineers Podcast with Traversal. OpenAI for startups. Vibes-based evals. Oh, they mentioned Traversal. Okay. It's been exciting to watch the evals that's so symmetric. Benchmarking, especially at the range. And they're based in New York. 4 reasons to throw your holiday party in January. Okay. The Wonderful Company. Whoa. LA. Monitoring and Analysis Associate. Claremont McKenna College. Material. Fulbright program. John Hopkins teaching assistant. Quantitative global economics. Okay, let's see. Give me top 5 insights from quantitative global economics. Give me top 5 insights from quantitative global economics. Monitoring and analysis associate. GTM and operations. Optimize for how a model sounds, not how a system behaves. Once your AI operates as a multi-agent system in real production workflows, intuition alone doesn't scale. Evaluate agents' workflows and full systems against the work they actually perform, automatically finding the signal in vast amounts of noisy, incomplete incident data, a true needle in a haystack problem. Under real latency and reliability constraints with minimal human customization, the results we have shared reflect one slice of that system-level discipline and help determine what ultimately ships. Very interesting. Very interesting. Assistant professor. Oh my god. Okay. So you have quantitative research on FMCG sector. Visiting scholar. Research on mathematical analysis of load balancing on computer networks. Mathematical analysis of load balancing on computer networks. Okay. Then you have teaching assistant for several first and second year courses at IIT Bombay in maths and physics. Member of department academic mentorship program team and the Institute of Student Mentorship Program. World Quant. Research and building of alpha models for equity markets. MIST. Help build smarter Wi-Fi and internal location systems using machine learning. Research intern hosted by Lester Mackey. Kernel methods, MCMC methods. PhD, USC Berkeley. Principal statistical approaches for sampling and inference in high dimensions. The Department of Electrical Engineering, Computer Sciences. Boston. Postdoctoral research fellow. Harvard. Postdoctoral research fellow, MIT. Assistant professor, Cornell Tech, Traversal. Wow. Okay. Can we go to full chat? Yes, let's go to full chat. This one is good. Institutions beat endowments. Countries don't get rich mainly because of resources, geography, or culture. They get rich because of institutions. Property rights, contract enforcement, rule of law, and low corruption. I think this is so important. It's so important. It's exactly how you think about a family. Everything, it's a system. It's a system. And if family is an institution, family is a system. If the system is operating right on every single level, then you have a really good operating family. And that applies over here as well. Like a good country runs really well when you have everything else running pretty good as well. Countries don't get rich because of resources, geography, or culture. They get rich because of institutions, property rights, contract enforcement. Contract enforcement is a big one. Like that's how the world works. Like if people are afraid of breaking the contract, if people follow contract because they are afraid of breaking the contract, that means that you have a good stable society. People can rely on that stability. People can predict the stability. So contract enforcement, it's pretty good. Countries don't get rich mainly because of resources, geography, or culture. They get rich because of institutions, property rights, contract enforcement, rule of law, and low corruption. Once you control for institutions, things like natural resources explain surprisingly little of Give me top 10 insights from quantitative physics. Today I just have a need to go deeper. Let's see. Quantitatively, once you control for institutions, things like natural resources explain surprisingly little of income differences. Once you control for institutions, things like natural resources explain surprisingly little of income differences. Mental model: oil is a lottery ticket, institutions are a compounding engine. Institutions are a compounding engine. This is so true. This is so true. Your family is an institution. Growth is boring until it isn't. Small differences in annual growth rates lead to massive divergence over decades. 1% extra growth per year doesn't feel dramatic, but over 40 to 50 years it completely reshapes national wealth rankings. This is why economists obsess over productivity. It's also why policy debates about just a few tenths of a percent actually matter. This is why economists obsess over productivity. It's also why policy debates about just a few tenths of a percent. It's like you take something like atomic habits and you extrapolate that from a human to a country. And that is quantitative global economics. He's talking about the same things. Compounding engine, 1% growth in few on a one day it doesn't look that much, but on a global, but over years, over decades, it is massive. Institutions beat endowments. That is basically, this is actually a very interesting idea. This is a very interesting idea. We can write about this. You take the book Atomic Habits and extrapolate to the society. You get quantitative global economics. You take the book Atomic Habits and extrapolate it to the society. Extrapolate the individual if you take the book Atomic Habits and extrapolate the advice from individual level to society level, you get quantitative global economics. Okay, let's see. Growth is boring until it isn't. This is why economists obsess with productivity. Convergence is conditional, not automatic. Poor countries don't automatically catch up to rich ones. They only converge conditional on similar fundamentals: education, savings, institutions, demographics, and openness. Small countries sprint, some jog, some treadmill forever. Some countries sprint, some jog, some treadmill forever. Data shows convergence clubs. Trade creates winners, but also very local losers. Trade raises national income. Quantitatively, that's clear and robust. Trade raises national income, but the losses are highly concentrated geographically and by skill group, and the gains are diffuse. Why trade can be economically beneficial and politically explosive at the same time. Shocks propagate through networks, not borders. Modern macro data shows that crises spread through financial, supply chain, and currency networks, not just neighboring countries. A housing shock in the US, a semiconductor bottleneck in Taiwan, or a banking wobble in Europe ripples globally through measurable linkages. The world economy behaves less like a map and more like a graph. Pick one country or industry you care about and ask which of these 5 forces dominate the trajectory. The lens alone will put you ahead of most commentary. Convergence is conditional, not automatic. Shaw propagates through networks, not borders. Yes. Symmetry creates laws. Every conservation law comes from a symmetry. Time symmetry, energy conservation. Space symmetry, momentum conservation. This is in philosophy. It's Noether's theorem, and it's one of the deepest results in physics. The universe runs on invariances. Time symmetry, energy conservation. Okay. Most systems are non-linear, so averages lie. The average behavior tells you almost nothing about individual outcomes. Small perturbations can explode into large effects. Turbulence, climates, markets, and brain resist clean prediction, even when equations are known. Entropy always wins, locally cheated. Entropy increases globally, but can decrease locally if energy flows through the system. Life, stars, and cities exist by exporting disorder elsewhere. Order is not free, it's rented. Exporting disorder elsewhere. Entropy always wins, locally cheated. Measurement changes reality at quantum scales. Measurement is not passive, it changes the system. You don't reveal a pre-existing value, you force the system to choose one. This isn't about consciousness, it's about interaction and irreversibility. It changes the system, you don't reveal a pre-existing value, you force the system to choose one. Most laws are statistical, not exact. Thermodynamics, diffusion, and even quantum mechanics describe probabilities, not certainty. Determinism survives only in idealized limits. Nature is less a clockwork and more a casino with stable odds. Most laws are statistical, not exact. Scale matters more than detail. Large companies' microscopic details wash out. Very different systems obey the same equations near critical points. This is universality. That's why phase transitions, neural avalanches, and market crashes rhyme mathematically. Energy landscapes explain behavior. Many physical systems can be understood as moving through an energy landscapes with valleys, barriers, and saddles. Proteins fold, classes age, and optimization algorithms struggle for the same reason. Too many local minima. Information is physical. Information has mass, energy, cost. Erasing a bit dissipates heat. Information is physical. Information has mass, energy, cost. Simple rules generate extreme complexity. Cellular automata, fluid equations, and quantum fields show that simple local rules can generate behavior no one can predict in detail. Complexity does not require complex laws. The universe is mostly empty and mostly invisible. Ordinary matter is a rounding error. Most of the universe is dark matter, dark energy, and vacuum structure, all inferred quantitatively, not seen. What you experience is a thin, biased sample of reality. Wow. For AI, things in terms of energy landscape, phase transition, scaling laws. For life, optimize flows, not states. For creativity, look for symmetries and invariants. Whoa. Oh. Also, it's time for food now. We are super hungry. Explain. Information is physical. Energy landscapes explain behavior. Don't aim to arrive at a perfect condition. Aim to maintain a healthy movement. A state is static. A job title, net worth, number, relationship label, a mood, a life setup. A flow is dynamic. Learning rate, energy in, energy out, quality of conversations, creative output per week, feedback loops between action and insight. Wow. Physics quality tells us this: static systems decay, dynamic systems survive. Optimize flows, not states. Scale matters more than detail. Very different systems obey the same equations near critical points. Entropy always win. Okay. Learning rate, energy in versus energy out, quality of conversations, creative output per week, feedback, loops between action and insight. Why states fail. In thermodynamics, equilibrium is death. Nothing changes, nothing improves, entropy wins. Living systems only exist far from equilibrium. They stay alive by taking in energy, transforming it, exporting entropy, translate it to life. If nothing is moving, you are slowly losing. What optimizing flows looks like in real life career. I want to reach X role. I want a job where my learning velocity compounds. Health, I want to be fit. I want daily movement, good sleep, fast recovery. Money, I want N dollars net worth. I want scalable income, optionality, low burn. Relationships, I want a partner. I want trust, curiosity, and honest communication to keep circulating. I want trust, curiosity, and honest communication to keep circulating. Mind, I want to feel confident. I want habits that repeatedly generate confidence. Wow. It's really cool. It's really cool. Like how you can use physics. I think this is very interesting when you start making all these dots and AI is making the dots for us, which is very cool. So I want a job where my learning velocity compounds. I want daily movement, good sleep, and fast recovery. I want scalable income, optionality, and low burn. Learning velocity compounds. I want trust, curiosity, and honest communication to keep circulating. Throughput system, not a container. What matters is what flows in: ideas, people, nutrition, stimuli, how efficiently you transform it, what you output: work, kindness, leverage, art. If the flow is good, the states take care of themselves. The side effects, the trap most people fall into, they optimize for snapshots. The snapshots are unstable. The moment you stop feeding the system, it decays. Even happiness is a flow variable, not a destination, a simple daily heuristic. At the end of the day, don't ask, am I where I want to be? Ask, are the right things moving through me today? Are the right things moving through me today? If the answer is yes, you are already winning in the only way physics respects. Are the right things moving through me? Wow. What flows in? Ideas, people, nutrition, stimuli. How efficiently you transform it. What you output: work, kindness, leverage, art. What habits fall into this category? Certain flows running reliably. Here are the habits. Small promises kept daily. Publish one thought, work out 20 minutes, ship one rough draft, send one honest message, make tiny commitments and execute them every day. Predictability of self, not size of achievement. Your nervous system learns when I say I'll do something, it happens. This is the deepest confidence loop there is. Visible output, not private preparation. Put something into Word on a fixed cadence. Daily notes, weekly demos, public experiments, live streams, sketches, essays. Calibrated against reality, output creates feedback. Feedback collapses doubt. Confidence is calibrated against reality. Output creates feedback. Output creates feedback. Feedback collapses doubt. Preparation without exposure feels safe, but stars confidence. Skill reps in public, not mastery in hiding. Where others can see the rough edges. Speaking before you are polished. Coding live. Writing before you feel ready. Confidence grows when you realize imperfection does not equal rejection. Each rep beacons fears authority. Physiological regulation, do things that stabilize your body every day. Strength training, walking, sunlight, sleep consistency. A dysregulated body manufactures doubt. A regulated body makes uncertainty feel survivable. This is not self-care, it's infrastructure. Hard conversations early. Slightly uncomfortable truths sooner than later. Examples: asking for clarity, setting boundaries, expressing disagreement calmly. Avoidance trains helplessness. Directness trains self-trust. Deliberate exposure to uncertainty. Regularly choose situations where outcomes are unclear. Meeting new people, pitching ideas, exploring new domains, starting before knowing the path. Short cycle between action, feedback, adjustment, daily retros, metrics that actually matter, fast iteration instead of long plans. Long loops breed fantasy, anxiety. Short loops breed agency. Agency is confidence with proof. Evidence logging. Ship list, wins journal, proof I can handle hard things. Your mind forgets competence faster than failure. Evidence restores balance. Memory correction. Threads, notes, casual explanations to friends. Confusion into structure. Structure creates confidence. You don't need mastery, you need clarity in motion. Choosing growth aligned environments. Spend time and effort is normal and curiosity is rewarded. Examples. Effort is normal and curiosity is rewarded. Ambitious peers, high signal communities, builders over spectators. Ambitious peers, high signal communities, builders over spectators. Confidence is partially contagious. Environment set your baseline expectations for yourself. Confidence into a state you hope for, into a flow you experience daily. If you want a single rule to live by, do one thing every day that makes tomorrow you easier to trust. Alright, I'll quickly check Claude. Update from Claude. Okay. Hand off complex tasks for Claude to handle independently. Come back to finish results. Voice survey zip file. Wow. Okay, so something is ready, but okay, we'll check it out later. Thank you.